Hi guys, and welcome to May Is Your Ex Coming Back series. So this is dedicated to the people who kind of like still have this connection to their ex, or they're feeling the ex might be coming back. Just keep in mind that if you kind of decide in your head that you don't want to take him or her back, that's the final answer. So that kind of like trumps any other influence, and you already know what you're going to do about it. Still, sometimes it's fun to see how they're thinking in their own head. I'm going to show you the significators because I have developed this spread. It took me quite a while to actually find a combination, and you can imagine finding a combination of 7. We have here in Ontario 749, so you pick 7 numbers out of 4 and 9, so I picked 7 numbers out of 78, so actually much harder, so hence it is really difficult to do this. But finally I find something that really works, and these cards are from a different deck. Think of that as the chapters of the book. I'm going to explain to you what they mean. So before I get there, just to let you know that I actually started a first group of tarot school. I'm really excited, and I'm so excited because everybody in the school is like so much fun. It's just like, oh my gosh, you want more? Here, more. If ever in life, you know, one can actually wish for it, this was the one. And oh my gosh, I have to tell you, I am so excited. So the next round is going to be the 15th of May. You can sign up. The link is in the description box. And I actually decided I'll have small, basically groups. Initially, I thought it's going to be a self-study, no guidance of mine. But I'm actually interacting by actually fixing the homework, checking the homework, giving guidance. So hence it's going to be more of my hands-on. So you can join in. Now I'm getting a clear idea how this is going to go. And as I said, it's going to be a limited group, maybe 10 at a time. I kind of like took, I think, quite a bit in this first round, but that's okay because I love how insistent and how basically intense they are, because they're going to make this really good for everybody else who follows. So okay, so let's jump into this. This X spread kind of like has this elements, has this, let's call it dimensions, that I really want to address over here. And they make sense. You see, in this group that is represented with the magician, I want to see what in this relationship works, and sort of like what are these like brownie points that you can earn like without much effort. So also it's going to tell me if this relationship was ever a go. In the second house, the temperance is reversed purposely because temperance usually makes things work. But I really want to see what is tearing this relationship apart and why the issues have been experienced over there. Then we have two significators. One, and I don't go with astrological things, and if you ever go in my school you will understand why. And this is basically telling me what kind of like personality you have to be when you date, because we're not the same person when we date and when we settle in. So hence it's going to be one significator and a second significator. And here, and the cat is trying to destroy my headset over here. Here we are going to see the energy in between, like this like flow of love and exchange and what's going on. And now these two cards, the Judgment, is going to tell me what karma is thinking about this whole mix. Is this doable? Is it workable? How to go about that, right? And lastly, we will have the Four of Wands. Generally, Four of Wands always talks about the next stage. So what is the next stage in this relationship? Is it good? Is it bad? It's going to depend on the sign. And lastly, how I do the signs. Keep in mind that most of us are just humans. I'm sorry, I actually live in a very quiet part of Toronto, really very much to the river and forest, but sometimes we get these noises, especially at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you are watching this because you're still connected, sometimes we have the karmic bond, sometimes like it takes time to get over a relationship, then it is really good to check for both of you. It's also good to check for your partner's Mars sign, because Mars sign tells you really what they want. You can just Google, find the free natal chart for anybody, and you will figure out what is a Mars sign for somebody. And that way we can kind of like determine really what is the really good chance of this relationship. And last point, guys, this is a general reading, so I'm focusing on you, and you already have you and somebody else in mind. You're already holding the energy of not only 2 main signs, but also their ascendants and everything else. So I'm accumulating all this energy, focusing on it, shuffling the cards toward that energy, and delivering. It is different when I'm doing the private reading, and this spread is on the special. It is still $50. I'm keeping it because when people are in distress, I really don't want to make money of them. The regular price for this is $65, but I have been keeping it discounted. And now it's also a speed up promotion that is happening simultaneously. So instead of waiting 3 weeks for this to come back to you, you're getting it within a week. So it is a good deal to try it. So let's start with Maze. Is your ex coming back? Hi Gemini, and welcome to your May. Is your ex coming back? So let's see what is in the store here for you. First of all, I'm seeing kind of like a very strong, let's call it backbone energy. Somebody's saying, you know what, I'm standing my ground. I kind of like really want to do what I need to do, and I better... Hi Matrix, what's up? I know you're pushing this. We have this black fellow that rarely comes. Hey, you want to say hi to Geminis? Come on. Show your face. Come on, show your face. Show your face, Matrix. Show your face. Pretty boy. This is my furry husband. He always wants to sleep with me. Very, very protective. Right, Matrix? Huh? There you go. You have this spectacular appearance of Yeti, right? So Gemini, see a King of Cups, I see King of Pentacles. You have options. You want this fellow who is romantic, who is kind of like you standing that this is what you want. He's romantic, he kind of listens to you, you kind of like feel the perfect person right there for you. This one is not that romantic, especially for an air sign. He's like very pragmatic. It's sort of like, well, you shouldn't be doing this because this costs so much money. And 2 is like, ugh, such a turnoff, right? Because that kind of like would be really appealing to earth signs, but not to you. But for some reason, you're feeling that you don't have options. This person honestly is extremely pragmatic over here. And maybe they have been very loving initially, but when we start dating, we all put our best foot forward, right? People write you sonnets and songs and stuff, and then they can't. Maybe they just got tired. Maybe they were going out of their way and exhausted all their brain cells. But look at this pentacle, pentacle, pentacle. This person really kind of like wants to move forward. So this is the series, is your ex coming back? I kind of like see you being in the way, because both of you are reminiscing about each other. Kind of there are like these memories of the past, but you are the one who is like saying, well, no, I still want honeymoon. I want a honeymoon. And no, give me the honeymoon back. But this person is saying, no, I kind of like really want something steady and solid. And I think they are there to build this. They want to do that. So let's see where this takes us. Oh, oh my gosh. Is this even possible to have this many cards? Like, ugh. You see, this is kind of similar. Here you're standing your own ground against everybody. But with Five of Wands, it's sort of like establishing boundaries, right? Majority of the people have no boundaries and don't have proper boundaries. So don't think that just this is unusual and you just got, you know, somebody who is just faulty. It's also good to check ourselves. So what does this mean? That means that we sometimes cross the line as well. That sometimes means that person says, look, I want very pragmatic. I am a boring person, but I will be bringing like my check home. I will be there for you. I will not be maybe kind of like writing you these poems, but you will have my support, right? Yes, I don't, you know, play guitar. I am not a flamboyant person, but I am working very hard to really be very, very, very rich, right? But there is like this sense over here of this not moving forward. For some reason, you guys are feeling, yeah, I don't want this. Kind of like the switch of Wheel of Fortune, because it's falling in this category. It's stuck. Karmic wheel, you kind of like, you really want what you want, and you just can't even consider that there is like not in stock anymore. You really, really want it, but you're not getting it. And then you're feeling rejected. And then they feel rejected. So there is like this game ball. What's going to happen? How it's going to happen? And then you have to go back to reestablishing these boundaries. Both of you. Kind of like, how far do I want to go with this relationship and why? And what do I want? Not only in this relationship, but in life. You can't paint the person and then say, well, I want the live person to step in here. And this is sort of like a story from Aladdin lamp, right? You have to deal with what you have. Like if you have a burlap, you would not be making probably, you know, curtains out of it. So you have to understand what you have and see what you can squeeze out of it, right? Look at this. Swords, 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 swords. Air, swords. You're like really stepping out of it. I think seriously, see Gemini. Mind you, this can actually go both ways. So because it's a general reading. Boy, there is a third person over here. Holy smoke, I'm getting a headache just even looking at this. So on one hand, you're saying, let's kind of continue. Let's see where this goes. But you're not committing to it, and they know it. Because they're slowly stepping out of it. So maybe you have lost somebody. Maybe this is not the same person, even though I feel kind of it is. But if there are two different people, then it would mean that somebody has been lost, right? And now you're insisting. Sometimes we get scorned in a relationship, and then everybody else in the process sorts of gets the brunt out of it, right? Because the Strength card means almost aggression. It means I'm not putting up with anything, right? So this kind of like is probably that Me Too movement. You kind of go through life. It's like a dripping thing, and one drop doesn't hurt you, not two or three. But if this continues going on for years, you freak out. Like, I'm enough, I had enough, and don't touch me, leave me alone. Because look at this huge indecision. I don't know. Or I don't know, even want to consider it, to either being aggressive or just saying, no, I'm not committing to anything, I don't know. So I see this like huge hesitation. The Wheel of Fortune, whenever it shows up, it is a karma card, and it talks about big changes coming. And these big changes are knocking on your door and saying, hello, I'm here to help you, because the Strength reverses, then you're healing, you're kind of like seeing things differently, but you're saying, no, stay away, nobody home. So be very careful about this, Gemini, because that could be possible in this period of time. But then again, it could be the partner that, you know, you're coming here to check. So I would like to see your comments. And also, guys, if you haven't subscribed so far, please do. And please like and share. And This spread is a general reading. Your personal reading is different. It's on the special, so check it out on cattarot.ca. Talk to you soon. Love you.